One of the big challenges facing Gen Z and millennials right now is just being able to save money, right? To put enough money away so that, hey, maybe you have that opportunity to buy a home and kind of get started as a homeowner. It's a challenge that's out there right now. Today, we're going to address that a little bit, talk about maybe some ways that you can fix that and how to give yourself the best opportunity to buy a home. Welcome in. This is the Smart Mortgage Show. I'm Ben George with Bill Litton, Regional President of Cross Country Mortgage. Bill, good to see you again. This is definitely a challenge for a lot of younger people today is just being able to save money. I mean, the common idea is always been, hey, let's save 20%, right, of your paycheck. But man, for a number of reasons, that's tough to do today.
Yeah, it's definitely a different landscape than when I bought my first home. Different landscape than when my parents bought their first home. So, one of the things that I really want to come across in this episode, Ben, is there are different challenges, but there's a lot that you still control. And let's really focus on those variables because home ownership is still very alive and well in the U.S.
Yeah, shifting that mindset and the behavior is a big part of it, right? There are things out of your control, but as you mentioned, Bill, there are some things that you do have control of still that can help you save a little bit more and put you in a better position financially. And the first one to kind of bring to the table here, Bill, is this idea of this frictionless finance. And it's great that I can pull up my phone and I can, withdraw money, deposit money, invest in something, buy and sell stocks. I mean, it's great to have that access, but it's very dangerous, isn't it?
It's way too easy to spend money today. You used to have to get in your car and drive to the store and walk around and, physically pick things up. And now you can look at your phone. It already knows what you want to buy and click twice. And now it's on its way to your house. Also, I think with advertising, there was a statistic I read recently that said you had, I think it was like 700 advertisements that would cross your field of vision per day 20 years ago. And now it's something like 7,000. It's an obscene multiple higher, a magnitude higher. So not only have they made it so easy, but you're being marketed to from so many different directions that it can be really difficult to understand how impactful it is and why you're spending more than you really need to spend.
Yeah, I know we all have some of those regrets in terms of purchases that we've made that have just been so easy to do. But so again, something to be aware of, kind of changing some habits there and just being more disciplined. I mean, oftentimes this just comes down to your behavior. I think too, when you look at this, there are some tactical steps you can take, Bill. How can people kind of push back against this invisible spending so they can maybe start saving for that underwriting process?
I think one of the ways that you can do it is to force friction back into your money. And what I mean by that is delete saved payment information from your phone. Just don't put any credit cards in there. That means when you need to purchase something, you're going to have to type it all in from the start. Makes it a little bit more difficult. Unsubscribing from emails advertising things, unsubscribing from text messages that come in on a daily basis. I mean, I have some where I'm like, well, let them keep texting me just in case I want to buy this at some point. Type in stop, get rid of that as soon as you can. If you're not buying it, you probably don't need it. Here's another way I've personally used this many times is put in a cooling off period. Maybe it's 24 hours, 48 hours, maybe this, depending on the size of the purchase, make it a week. But if you see something you want and it's over a certain dollar amount, make a rule that you will not buy it until you've waited. So if it's $500, I won't buy anything over $500 until I've waited 1 week and see how I feel a week from now. Most of the time after a week, you don't even want it anymore. You've realized you don't need it. Also, another good habit is I cancel all of my credit cards on January 1st. That way, any subscription service I need to sign back up for, and invariably there's a few in there I didn't even know I was paying, And maybe there was one or two in there I wasn't using enough to really warrant paying for it. And I just don't put it back into an automatic payment situation.
Yeah, I like those. Make it difficult to actually spend that money, right? I like the deleting the safe haven info is a good one because I know all the time it's so convenient to have it there. And yes, I probably would. There'd probably be a few things I'd say, you know what? I don't have the time to go out to my car, get my credit card, or track down the number. I'm just going to skip it. So I like that. Make it difficult for yourself to put that friction back in place. Is a good way, good approach to that. Also, Bill, I think too, a lot of people don't really face the reality of the situation, right? It's easy to just not look at your bank statement, kind of ignore your spending, right? You maybe see your credit card bill that comes in and you pay it, but you don't go back and actually look at what was spent and kind of analyze, maybe some areas you can cut back in. Why do we avoid our financial statements like that so often?
I think financial avoidance is really common. I think because it can be an anxiety triggering event. A lot of it probably goes back to when you were a kid and how your parents handled it and what you're used to, the way you were brought up. Subconsciously, I feel like there's, reasons why you're avoiding these things and not really, facing the music and saying, okay, this is my goal without judgment. And here's the plan to get to the goal. If I save X amount of money, get rid of the story as to why you don't have the money. And let's just deal with the facts. Like I have zero and I need 20,000 and I'm going to save 200 a month. You might even get a little bit fancy and put it into some kind of a investment and let it grow inside the investment, a very safe investment, nothing risky. But there are lots of ways to do it. Once you take control of this, I feel like it's super empowering. I can tell you, as a kid, when I personally looked at how am I going to buy my first car? How am I going to, the big purchases in life, when I looked at them, they were absolutely daunting. And when I look back, if I knew then what I know now, it's that they were all very attainable, but with a plan. And putting a plan in place is super important.
Yeah, it is. And there's one other thing you mentioned control. One kind of tool that's still out there for you too is automation. And I know we automate a lot of our bill pay and stuff, but it's important to automate those savings too, right? Just before, oftentimes if the money's there in your account, you're going to spend it. So, hey, don't even give yourself that option, right? Go ahead and save automatically every month when your paycheck hits.
Let's flip the script because all of the companies out there, they want, this frictionless spending. Let's use a kind of frictionless savings. So you don't even need to think about it automatically. Pay yourself before you pay all these other companies. Pay yourself by putting money into your bank account. If you can save, we talked about it before, at 20% of your net income, that's a great number. And it might seem impossible, but I guarantee if you cut out all the door dashing and all of the frivolous spending that we're all guilty of, the money is there. Also, you might try an app like the Acorns app, which basically every time you purchase something, it rounds the change up to the next dollar. It pulls that off and puts it into an investment for you. Really great stories of people paying for their kids' colleges and finding down payments for homes. Over time, that money starts to grow. That feels really good. And now you've just reversed this, belief that you had that you couldn't get there, when I'm telling you, it's still available. One other thing to note is, when my parents bought their home, there were some economic factors that were definitely to their advantage, but you had to put 20% down. Now you need as little as 3% down. So there are also some more creative ways to help you get in with less. So again, every generation's going to face some hurdles. And by all means, Gen Zers, Millennials, you guys have your hurdles for sure. But let's figure out how to get around them. They're only obstacles. They're absolutely things that we can move past and, get beyond.
Yeah, don't be afraid to ask for help, right? Too. I mean, it's good that you're watching this video, right? And getting some information. There's a lot of people out there that are willing to give you advice and guidance on how to save and how to put yourself in a better position financially. But there are some things in your control. It takes discipline. It does take small steps, right? It's not a quick process in most cases, so it does take a little bit of time to make it work. But look, if you want Bill and the team at Cross Country Mortgage to look at your specific numbers, maybe give you a blueprint for how to qualify for a home, reach out today. Just text the word LEND to 21,000 to begin that conversation. Again, LEND to 21,000, or log on smartmortgageshow.com. All right, good luck to you out there. Spending, put it aside, make saving a priority. It's always easier said than done, but you'll thank yourself down the road. Thanks for watching, Bill. As always, thanks for your insight. Look forward to talking to you again soon.
Thank you so much.
This program is for informational purposes only. Please consult a qualified professional before taking any action. Bill Litton is a loan advisor and regional president with Cross Country Mortgage, NMLS number 147060.